We're going to get started with a couple songs here. If you're already tuned in on the YouTube, shout out to you for notification gang. This first one's called, damn, I'm going to butcher this name. I'm sorry, 99 Nights. The Requiem of a Night. I don't know how to say that, bro. I'm going to leave a link to it, to the playlist in the description. Shout out to y'all. Let's get into this episode.
I put one foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. The sickness inside you is leaving you trapped in your head again. It's trapped in your head again. I put one foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. Sickness inside you is leaving you trapped in your head. It's trapped in your head again. I watched the snow touch the ground in my Sewerperson chest. Just know I had to do that in defense. Your mission just started, my iron was silver. The weapon I wield is just your shade of red. I'm pacing around with the fear in my eyes, and I'm gasping for air, but not catching my breath. Your voice in the woods, and I watched as you fell to the ground, and your body would leak as you bled. Oh, I ran through the brush, I feel like I'm running as fast as I can. All of the trees stare at me with disgust. They look in my eyes and judge me as a man. I put one foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped. One foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped in your head. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped in your head. Trapped in your head. I forgot nothing in my life is promised. I'm fine with my brothers, I promise. Trapped in your head. I forgot nothing in my life is promised.
Nah, Doa, for real. We do need the IG back. But I ain't stressing about it. You'll hear about it in this episode.
I put one foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped. One foot onto the ground, then another. Like I'm marching right to my death, but I'm fine with my brothers. I promise I keep telling myself that just to get in my head. I honestly forgot that nothing in my life is promised. I'm probably better off dead. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped in your head. Sickness inside you, leaving you trapped in your head.
So long as I have my sword to fight with, I'm sure to survive. Year after year, I prove it to be true. Before joining the Hawks, I always survived.
That was
No matter
99
the
Nights
odds,
song,
No matter how hopeless a losing battle.
Requiem of a Night. Shout out Sil for telling me how to pronounce it. This right here is San Fran Nights by Sewerperson, produced by Jabari on a beat. Jabari on the beat, not just any beat. The beat.
Like change when I've written all these notebooks. If I want it, I cannot go back.
Hey.
I've been thinking about the talks we had. Blow up, baby, don't get a brace from the wind. Blow up, fake friends come back from the past. Make up with the people that held me. I was laid up in the ER, way down bad. Okay, maybe it was just a hit. I was there with me. I feel a way I think I never felt. I breathe, got the eyes upon my face.
Yeah, for real. Comment 4 is underplayed. I ain't gonna lie. Didn't get enough love.
Last week I was playing it every morning.
Hey.
I don't wanna come off too strong. No, I've been in my
Head about.
how we could've still wrote this story, but now this shit's dead and I took my grave and I'm laying in it right now. Cookie heart strength, how put me in a timeout. Grants in the woods like I'm trying to say timber. I was trying to smoke away what I still remember. Hey.
Shout out to Danny in the chat, Epitome of Failure, Doa, Sil, JC, Jasmine. Fuck yeah, let's go.
In the ear, way down bad.
This is the last vibe to get us started. Coming up right now. If you waited on the song to drop, when this drops I want to see W's in the chat. I waited so long for this song to drop off that one snippet that he posted on what, TikTok or Triller. Absolutely insane.
That you doing now, baby. Yeah, I could do them with you so we both get faded. Yeah, a lot of pain went into my life and changed. Yeah, a lot of hate from the other side, but I won't fade it. Yeah, I'm up beside the road, your age is sweet, I'm jaded. Yeah, a lot of rain touchdown on the balcony pavement. Yeah, better bed nights when I'm out to a different location. Yeah. We inside the suitcase, I was a whole situation. I ain't been in my city, but friend in my city don't show any love. She try to link me, I'm busy. If you make an entrance, I better be done. You know I turn the temperature up. I put this function on drugs. Really, I'm really the plug. Don't be a guy, you fucking it up. I got a OZ, I got a lean. Up in this penthouse, I make it sheen. My cup is bleeding, I fill it with cream. If I put my ice in, it's working a sink. I got a god bitch, she got kings. She got a babe, but mine like brinks. I'm making my brothers do too like jinx. That shit'll promise I put it in ink.
Pulling up to the Nashville show. Hey, let's go. Epitome of Failure. Hey, we might be able to record something so we can get you on the podcast that weekend. We'll talk about it.
I'm in a rocket. Yeah, I can get you the drugs you doing now, baby. Yeah, I can do them with you
so we both get faded. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of pain went into my life and changed. Yeah, a lot of hate from the other side, but I won't fade it.
Hey, Doa already shouted out the sewer top. This is OG.
A lot of rain touchdown on the balcony pavement. Yeah, better bed nights when I'm out to a different location.
From the limited run.
We inside the suitcase, I was a whole situation.
Yeah. That last one was Frozone, Sewerperson, produced by Sorrowbringer. That concludes my intro playlist. You guys know what time it is, right? I don't have to say much. Yeah. Welcome back to Conversations in the Sewer, guys. This is episode 6 from Pain to Poetry Part 2. If you were here for Part 1, you already know what the series is about. Heber was with me, and we dug into some of the ways that sewer turns the ugliest, heaviest moments of life into vivid storytelling. It's about how pain, loss, and survival can become art, and how that art can sometimes hit harder than the moment itself. If you weren't here for Part 1, I ain't gonna lie, you're missing out. As soon as this ends, I recommend you to go run that back. And it's a lengthy watch, but it's so worth it. Heber, we worked some magic. We worked some magic on that episode, man.
Cool.
So tonight, right now, with all of y'all, Part 2 of 2 weeks ago, we're looking at 2 songs that really sit at the core of that theme. Bullet Dodger and Hush. These tracks aren't just stories, they're experiences, cinematic experiences. Each one feels like you're stepping into someone's memories and not just hearing what happened. You're feeling every wound, every moment of hesitation, and every question that doesn't have a clean answer. Like I said, I got my dude Heber with me again to break all of this down. and we're going to get into storytelling, the imagery, and what these songs make us think about in our own lives. And as always, chat, Sil, Danny, Epitome of Failure, Doa, all of y'all, I want to hear from you. Tell me if any of these songs hit you. Facts, dead ass. Tell me if any of these songs hit you the same way that they hit us. Tell me your interpretations. Tell us the lines that you can't stop thinking about. Heber, what are you most excited for tonight?
Just to really talk about, I guess, music and also Sewerperson and stuff. It's really, I think it's just cool to talk about this stuff. So I'm excited for, I guess, all of it.
Facts. Before I go any further, I need to address a couple things. As Doa stated earlier, we need the IG back. We don't necessarily need the IG back. There's been an idea floating around. A couple people have told me that I should possibly shift to posting on TikTok. So, I already made a TikTok account for Conversations in the Sewer a while ago. I posted the first reel that I posted ever on Instagram. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't do too hot, so I wasn't like pushing it or anything. But I think I'm gonna go back and post most of the reels on TikTok. If that's something that you'd be interested in supporting, the for the TikTok, I'll put it in the description, and it's also at convos in the sewer _. Yeah, if you want to go show some love, we can do that. I don't have a graphic made or anything because I thought about throwing that in last minute. Shout out Sil. I think Sil was one of the people who were like, you should go to TikTok. Anyways, you don't need to use TikTok. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty confident that if I give Meta enough time, they're gonna give me back the Instagrams. I'm like 90% confident just because their AI went crazy and banned everybody lately. Like they literally, the last agent I talked to told me that they had 1 million user support tickets pending, which is why it's taking so long to look at my appeal. So anyways, IG keeps getting deleted. Go follow the TikTok at convos in the sewer _. Subscribe on the YouTube if you aren't already. I post on there every other day. I didn't post any reels or anything from last week. I'm lacking on that, but I'm gonna get back on that because I enjoy the little edits and the little cuts. So I'll get back on that and posting shorts and everything. Don't worry, guys. Train's gonna keep running. If you saw the announcements channel or the information channel got an upgrade, there is now a forms link from Google that you can submit music. If you are an artist who is interested in being in the intro or outro playlists of every one of our episodes, please submit 1 to 3 songs using that Google Forms link. Do not forget to include your email or Discord, okay? If you don't include a way for me to contact you, it literally has a required line. Don't put not available because I want to reach out to you. I have this grand idea of hosting a community festival where everybody just makes little playlists of their music and stuff, kind of like a showcase. I want to use these submissions to build my roster for what can one day be Sewerfest. So get active. Tell your friends who make music. Carter, I know you're gonna see this. Epitome of Failure, send something in, bro. It's in the information chat on the Discord, and it'll be in the description of every single one of our videos after I post this video tonight. Swear, on my life, I need artists. I need people who are in this Discord. I need people who don't even affiliate with Sewerperson. Like, I want this to be something big and good for everybody involved, not just, me. Heber, what do you want to talk about before we get into the last thing I was gonna address?
I was just thinking when you were saying, I was like, if artists also like alongside their songs maybe want to like put one of their friends' songs in there too, just like maybe just a part of the scene, just in case you don't, because there's like three some fill in spots for songs,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you only want to put two, maybe you only want to put one, put your friends on the other one. I don't know, just
Yep.
thought that would be a good idea, but yeah, I just want to mention that. But talk about before we get into the breakdown, you say?
I have one thing to go into before
Oh
the
yeah.
breakdowns, but yes.
Oh yeah, what is it? Sorry.
The you want to talk about the album?
Oh, yeah, 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 for sure, dude. I mean, dude, yeah, because that was like a whole thing. Um, there was an album. It was very bad. Oh, dude, I'm wearing the shirt actually. Very bad people.
Oh, yo, that's fire.
Um,
I didn't even peep that. He's
yeah,
wearing the
dude.
merch.
It's a crazy shirt. It's a crazy album. I like the album design too. It's like two faces. But also just the concept of the album, like very bad people, and also because when you go through listening to the songs, it's like I really feel like I'm thinking about all these different stories that like align with like the message of the album essentially, or what it would be, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
which is about very bad people. So it's cool to like go into the album with that lens and actually get that out of all the different songs and lyricism. Even and it's because it's a lot of tracks too. So I was like, wow, it's crazy. You could like really get that through like a lot of or most of them. I think all of them. But yeah, like
It's that album's crazy front to back, and like if you were in that listening party, you heard what Heber's talking about. Sewer basically told us that he watched a ton of Sopranos and was infatuated with the fact that Tony can do all these really bad things and people are still sympathizing with him. He's such a terrible person, but people still have empathy. Um, so he went into it, he watched a ton of Sopranos and was like, I want to make a ton of songs, an album about people like Tony Soprano, bad people, you know? Um, Fire. I see some chats about Sewerfest being an IRL event. Guys. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I got big plans and big hopes
maybe
and
we
everything.
should.
But like, let's do it on Discord. Let's see how Discord goes. Um, and if Discord goes well and people get interested and the podcast does extremely well and I can run out of space to do a Sewerfest in LA or NYC or something along those lines, it'd have to be a big city like that. I can't go to any Midwest. Like, it has to be a big city just because it's easier to get every artist that I want there. So yeah, we'll work on Sewerfest, guys. Um, you said something about the album. Anything I want to say before I get into this? Oh, Nashville. Heber and I were talking earlier. This event is at a place that has 150 capacity. Buy those freaking tickets. All right, guys? We want to pack this out. I'm going to be there live in the flesh. Get you on some content for hopefully an Instagram if the Instagram comes back. Let's get you, come on, guys. Let's show out to Nashville. Let's
Shorts.
Yeah, yo, for real. Get on the YouTube shorts. Get on the TikToks. I'm gonna have that little TikTok camera. Fit check. I ain't doing fit checks, but I'm gonna be going around like that. Nashville, Tennessee, September 27th, with Ronan and JU. Sewerperson is performing. Tickets are $18 pre-sale, 22 at the door. Don't miss out. My plane ticket was super cheap. I'm not saying everybody's plane ticket is super cheap, but that's when tourism's dying down. So look into it, guys. Seriously. Look into it. Lastly, before we get into breakdowns. Damn, my nose is dry as hell, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not picking my nose. I swear, guys. I swear. Last thing I want to get into, there's some community submissions still lingering from when I asked what keeps you coming back to the underground scene. And I think it'd be good to touch base on a couple of these just to, keep the wheels turning on the community submissions. So, like before, Heber and I are going to go back to back on reading these and have a quick little, chat on how we feel about the submission. Not necessarily if, if we like your submission or if we resonate with it. But I'm gonna say thank you a bunch of times like I did last time and all that good stuff. Let me bring this up real quick. Let me stop yapping. Cool. I'll go first, Heber. I'm volunteering as tribute with my 3rd grade reading level. 10 hours to Nashville? Damn. That's crazy. Epitome, you're actually crazy for that. That's like my cutoff. That's way above my cutoff. I feel like driving is like 6 hours for my cutoff. If it's anything more than 6 hours, I'm flying, bro. All right. There's no name on this one. And as you can see, the bot's automatically anonymous, so I don't know your name, but I keep coming back to the underground scene for its continuous significance it has on my life. A lot of the songs are more relatable and have more emotional charge than mainstream. Facts. These songs, those songs tend to be very selective just based on its traction in the industry, which I'm not knocking. I like those songs just as much as the next, but many of the niche genres are not going to be found as easily on radio and was often clowned on growing up. Facts. I like to search for some meaning and motivation through songs since I listen to music every day. Many underground songs provided that for me. That's somebody who basically found the music, resonated with it, and the themes of the music are playing a part into that person's life every single day. Like they said, the niche genres were often clowned growing up, and that's facts. Like, you know, you told somebody, oh, I listened to a SoundCloud rapper. You know, I used to get told listen to real music, and then Juice World blew up, who was a SoundCloud rapper that I used to listen to, and it was cool to listen to Juice World. You know, it's like we're ahead of the game here, guys. We're ahead of the game here. Next one.
Oh, I just wanted to mention. I think it's I really like how sorry, they're mentioning how they search for some meaning and motivation through songs. 'Cause it's like because it's like listening to his music kind of like has a positive impact in that manner, I guess, you
Yeah,
know. Unlike I guess if he or it's specifically in the space, he's finding more songs that influence him in a positive way, like then I guess outside the scene or whatever. But I just thought that was cool, just because like, you know, for me, I care a lot about like the influences that go into my brain. So I was like, yeah, that's really cool. I like it's like this is still helpful, you know,
yeah.
in some way. I was like,
Thanks for pointing that out too. I kind of just skimmed over
I,
the fact that they're just
I agree.
not just
I was
listening
thinking
to the
about that.
music. Yeah, bro. Wow, how can I miss over the most important part of it?
It's true. But yeah,
Dude,
should we you ready for the next one?
yeah, bro. It's your turn to read. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me go up a little.
Oh, you're ready. Okay, let me.
There we go.
What keeps me coming back to the underground is that it's a sense of familiarity and exploration, ease of access, and unfiltered creativity. Unfiltered creativity, interesting word choice. I like that. Everyone who is mainstream, and yeah, they came from the underground, but it's not the same vibe from when they get signed versus when they do it themselves or their fans. I get what he's saying. I come back when I'm bored or anxious, just a comfort zone, whether it's Miles or this side of the scene or the plug and B side with Con in them. I went and listened to Old Sewer album, and then somebody called Breakins pops up and recommended, and I've been listening to their music for the last 3 days. That's the beauty of it. That's crazy. They just found Breakins. That's like a goated find or whatever. The underground is so vast that someone can go unnoticed by you because you were listening to comfort songs that day instead of exploring new artists. That's so crazy because yeah, like he just found like Breakins, which is like a crazy find. Like a lot of people should listen to Breakins if they haven't already. But it's like might have missed out during the era of like hypochondriac dropping out, or like you weren't tuned into the scene at that era, you know. But it's like come back to it. It's like, oh, there it is, greatness. You know, you found it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
finding break-ins now is actually kind of crazy though. That I
Yeah,
don't.
it's really good.
Break-ins is
Good stuff.
fire. Like you said, unfiltered creativity was a great word choice. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like that's why a lot of people like this underground scene is just because the music's so raw and unfiltered. You know, they don't have to worry about what a label's gonna put money up for or anything like that, you know?
It's like for the best art.
Facts. Shout out to Hash. Hash is a freaking dope name too. If that's your nickname, shout out to you.
That's dope, for real.
The next two are low key kind of short. This person said, I asked, what keeps you coming back to the underground scene? They simply put it, versatility, loyalty to producers, and incredible/unique styles of writing, etc. Shout out to you. Thanks for that, bro. Last but not least, we got our buddies.
For me, it's definitely how the music feels so genuine and real. All underground artists genuinely enjoy what they're doing, and I feel like that is really cool and brings a unique sound to the music. That was from Stars.
Facts.
That's true though.
It's 100% true. And as somebody who's like, I feel like Stars is getting deeper and deeper into the scene every single day, finding new artists and everything. You know, bro's still so young, has so much time to discover these people who we might be listening to for 7-8 years. You know, it's kind of cool to see. I'm kind of aging myself and everything, but like somebody of the next generation really like embrace something that I had the same reaction to when I found it. You know, like, I don't know, Stars, keep being you, bro. You're a dope dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shout out Stars, for real. That's the little brother of the Sewer Chord. Stars is also a shooter. You play with him, he's got some words. That boy came this close to a band before, and I was like, yo, Stars, really, bro?
Say it's Skibbity.
Literally, it was so. Oh my, yeah. I should ban Skibbity from the Discord. Period. Sick of
Dude,
hearing
he's
that.
gonna cry.
Word. Without anything else,
Yeah.
I mean, I got nothing else. I think it's time that we can get into Bullet Dodger, the first track on our docket tonight.
Yeah, dude.
Got anything to say before we start with it?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm excited to listen to it too.
All right, cool. Let me move this chat up real quick. Let me move this chat over real quick. All right. Without further ado, I'm about to play Bullet Dodger. And then I got a nice little breakdown for y'all. What this song means to me, how I interpret it. While I go along, you are free to put all of your takes in the chat. I will try to have a conversation with y'all as much as I can while staying on my breakdown. Yeah, I asked y'all to take notes. I hope y'all took notes so this can be a good conversation. Everybody's like, so get your note right. Facts, bro. Facts. Without further ado, Bullet Dodger, Sewerperson, produced by Eric Godlow, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Straight from the grapes out the winter well fine. The fire in his gut confirms it's going down fine. Plates in his back from his work at front line. Scars meet the fern and they'll fade in due time. Shock atop his friendly tried exposing his spine. Now he's in a box and his face untied. Stories he can tell will keep you up in late night. If it's not each other, why the fuck do we imply? Taken by the goblin. If he had a choice, he would have died to get a heart in him. I can hear his voice inside a comet change the seasons. Wind whips through the trees and I'd imagine it's his breathing. But he talked to me in many ways. In the fog near his lonely face. I just candles on the ground to try to summon you again. A presence fills the room and punches holes into my chest. I could give you what you need. Take my my muscle, take my teeth. All my use to them is left me as a hermit in the trees. As above, so below, I have taken to this home. With my hands turning blue, I will climb from this hole. I will climb from this hole. Bullet dodger, if they stake me and pay me all burn, then we all burn. Just like his father, traitor hybrid, take his life first, it's an elven honor. Blood is in you, let it rain down, let it fall upon me, for I have offered. Here's a bullet dodger, he's a broken heart beast, left a rotting harbor, oh there's nothing covered. Straight from the grave, sought the winter well fine. Fire in his gut confirms it's going down fine. He's blades in his back from his working front lines. Scars need to burn and they'll fade in due time. Shock atop his friend, they tried exposing his spine. Now he's in a box and his fate is untied. Stories he could tell would keep you up in late night. But if it's such, then why the fuck do we oblige?
I ain't gonna lie. I forgot to bring up the lyrics, guys.
No.
Let me drag this up real quick. I should be fired for that. Completely forgot.
Oh, dude. I low-key forgot too.
Bro.
Coming up. Coming soon. Big things coming soon.
Yeah,
Right
big
now.
things coming soon. I'm sorry, guys. Give me one second here. All right, I screwed it all up, but we all good. Simple fix. I don't know if you guys could tell. I was kind of fumbling, jumbling, mumbling, trying to go crazy and get it done. You know. Ah, geez, it looks so terrible with the chat. This is terrible. Holy crap. Guys, I don't want to have the lyrics up. It's gonna look like that. I ain't gonna lie. All right. That was Bullet Dodger. Right from the title, you can kind of get a picture of the whole essence and the theme of the song, after hearing the song at least. In my eyes, it's not about glory or survival for the sake of it. It's about what's left behind when you survive something that takes everyone else out. It's about living through hell and carrying the weight of it afterwards. It opens with the cold image, freezing cold image. The instrumental perfectly matches the whole tone, the vibe of the song, and the vocals come in, which are clear and melodic. The strings are smooth in the background, and then the hi-hats are perfectly timed for entering vocals that say, "Straight from the grapes off the winter well vine, fire in his gut confirms it's going down fine." Like I said, it sounds cold and bitter. Like drinking something that's meant to warm you, but it still hurts going down. This opening line sets the whole tone that survival's not sweet. He's alive, sure. But at what cost? The fire might be liquor or just pain, but either way, it's going down fine, and he's here. There's blades in his back from his work at front lines. Scars meet the fern, and they'll fade in due time. The blades in his back, they're from fighting those invisible battles that we talked about before, maybe even betrayal. He wasn't necessarily just a soldier. I feel like this is kind of painting him being a target. There's a little hope here. Nature in the end is trying to heal him, slow and steady, but it doesn't fully erase what he's been through. It just fades off in time. Heber, does this opening feel like a victory or a punishment for survival to you?
A victory or punishment for survival? I think a little bit of both, but like but it can feel either or at different times, I guess, or maybe it might not feel like victory ever, but in like the grand scheme of things, it is. But maybe it's not though. So maybe I'm just because the experience would be more towards not so. I guess I'm leaning towards that. Um, but who knows? Because as it did say, like scars meet the fern, like naturally, kind of like this is gonna happen naturally, and I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like anything that happens naturally is like in some way a good thing, but then there's also like the experience of it is not so great. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, kind of anything that that naturally occurs kind of happens for a reason, you know, like regardless of what religion you believe in, if you don't believe in religions, everybody thinks that our gods, you know, have stuff happen for a reason. So, it's a good way to put it, honestly. Naturally happening. Um the next line goes on to say, chalk on top his friend, they tried exposing his spine, and now he's in a box and its fate's untied. I feel like this part is starting to dig a little deeper into like the core themes of Sewer's music, period. The lyrics are intense and the bass comes in right around this moment too, kind of adding to the already uneasy feeling in the track. Um and it's adding more depth to the already capturing song. You know, I'm 4 lines in and I'm knee deep. His friend's gone and somebody tried to dismantle him. Now they're just, you know, another outline on the pavement, chalk. And the fate that they had, the fate that they planned, whatever plan that they had together is just now gone, essentially. Gone with the wind in an instant. Stories he could tell, keep you up at late night. If it's such hell, why the fuck do we oblige? So like, chat, Heber, what what do you guys think of this line? Do you think we step into hell because we have to, or because we don't know any other way?
yeah. I'm thinking it's because we don't know. I guess. Um, yeah. I feel like the or a lot of times wrong comes from ignorance. I guess Um,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Sil said in regard to the chalk line, here we go, Sil. This seems almost as if they're trying to draw him out and expose his vulnerabilities. Oh, wow. Suggesting that his weakness is a good-hearted nature that is easily exploited and usually ends up with him being manipulated into situations that are harmful. Being so readily manipulated makes him seem and feel expendable at the whim of the world. That's a completely different take than I have, and I absolutely love it. See, that's why I wanted to ask these questions and why I'm trying to have a conversation with you guys, because I interpret it one way. I can listen to it 40 times and hear it my way, and then somebody is like, no, the chalk is him. He said chalk is on top of his friend, and I'm taking it literally when Sil's like, no, he's just talking about himself, you know? He's talking about people exposing his vulnerabilities. I think that's fire. But in regards to the question, if it's such hell, then why the fuck do we oblige? I think that question really sticks. It's like in all of our lives, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, we keep showing up to the same pain. We keep showing up to the same war, to the same cycle. Like what are we actually fighting for? You know, whether it's a lost friendship, a dwindling relationship, you know, we just keep showing up hoping for better, hoping that nature is going to heal our wounds and it'll fade over time, but it's a cycle. And why do we keep stepping into these cycles that only end up in coffins, literally and metaphorically? Next line goes on to say, sought the wishing well, but it was taken by the goblin. If he had a choice, he would have died again to haunt him. I think this line is symbolizing like that. Even I think these two lines are symbolizing that even hope, something as innocent as a wish being thrown in a wishing well, can get taken by darkness, by the goblin, by the negative feelings that we referred to in Pain to Poetry Part 1, and that I was referring to as the werewolf, the depression, the pain, the agony of dealing with all these issues just eating you alive. Your wishes, your hopes, all of that can just be taken. Like there's no room for healing. There's no place left to hope and wish for better. And then revenge is cutting deep. The dead would die again, die a second death just to make their pain known, and just to linger in the life of those who did him wrong, who caused this pain, who caused that chip on the shoulder, who caused that. If he had the choice, he would have died again to haunt him. I took that literally. I think a lot of this song is literal. Epitome of Failure said it could be because we're drawn to it. Like, yeah, it's cyclical behavior, hard to break the habit. Facts. It's facts. That's facts, honestly. A lot of us have cyclical behaviors, and we're used to that. We don't know better, so we're used to it and we're okay with it. So
Yeah, like Seal was saying just now, he was like, we're creatures of habit. He was saying in his mega thread right here. We'll revisit those things that hurt us because even despite the negatives, the comfort of the things we know outweighs trying to outgrow, accustomed to the hell of the unknown. Like, basically what we're growing and comforting to. It just doesn't feel like
wow. Dude, Sil, you were cooking.
Daniel was saying the same thing. They're kind of the same thing right before that. In terms of the unknown is worse sometimes. Some people would rather live in the hell than know what they don't, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Sometimes it's just it can feel like the way to go as of the moment.
Right. Honestly, we might not even notice that we're in a cycle, even though that we're used to it and that it happens several times. It's a habit, we don't notice the cycle. Damn. Good takes, guys. Good takes. Better than mine, I ain't gonna lie.
No, I called her Dan, and she said I called her Daniel. I said Danny. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe I did say it. Sorry.
The next line, I could hear his voice inside the calm of changing season. Wind whips through the trees, and I'd imagine it's his breathing. I feel like this is signifying the grief of the friend that he just lost in the last couple lines, wrapped up in nature, and the wind becomes the soul of the one who passed. The season becomes a whisper. It's beautiful, but haunting, and it plays into this next emotional scene that we kind of dig a little more into. They talk to me in many ways. In the fogged mirror is a lonely face. All the candles on the ground, I'm trying to summon you again. A presence fills the room and punches holes into my chest. That's the grief. That's the denial, kind of, like chasing that person who left. We've all experienced it, kind of like not accepted that somebody's gone. So he's kind of trying to communicate with the other side, or simply just seeing himself lost or broken. There's pain in remembering that presence that fills the room and punches hole into his chest. That's the pain in remembering and trying to reach out to somebody that you can't bring back, that you're talking to, and that they can hear you, but you can't hear them. And sometimes trying to make those attempts, I know personally from losing people in my life, trying to make those attempts, like show me a sign or let me feel your presence, sometimes it just tears the hole wider. It feeds the flame, because you don't get the answer that you're looking for 90% of the time. So to revisit my first question to you, Heber, after how far we are already, I'd say what? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 or 10 lines into the song. Do you think that the song's about survival or about how surviving after something that takes everybody out is worse than being taken out? You know, is it survival? Is it victory? Or is it the punishment for surviving?
Um, well, I think the well, we haven't got into it, but it comes later on. I think the victory comes later on. Right now, I think we're like it's still in the experience of like the sort of like the naturally occurrence of like just sort of like the griefing. Like obviously like you mentioned, like the voice in the calming change of season, like they could hear him in like well, essentially in their surroundings. And also it's like changing seasons is sort of like whenever we're in a transition of seasons, it's like a new era. You're looking behind at what you're leaving behind, and you're looking ahead at what you're taking ahead. And it's like he's like this person isn't gonna be there anymore in that moment. So it's like, and then it's like these heavy imageries of like them actually showing up in the wind, or like so them like the emotions that they're having are so strong that they're like they actually think that they're hearing them in the wind. You know, like
Yeah.
that's a very real experience. You know. I guess so. I guess in just no, but then the obviously like you were mentioning the getting punched in the chest thing. I mean, it's like it's even further down the line of like you know you keep thinking back to it. You know, it's like just getting put. Yeah. So I just think we're still in like the process of that the whole thing. You know, I guess. But
Uh,
yeah,
of processing the event that happened that you survived.
yeah. hmm It's
That's
like
a
it's kind of describing everything, or I don't know, a lot of it.
that's a great way. I wasn't expecting that answer. I want to touch base real quick on what Sil said about the presence in the room. Sil said the closing line of this verse sees a change in the atmosphere in preparation for the bridge. A presence fills the room and punches hole into my chest is a line that rings a little empty, seemingly on purpose. Instead of having a direct meaning, it seems to better encapsulate. Wow, what a good word. Encapsulate a hollowing feeling that had been building up throughout the verse. And this final line is the metaphorical nail in the coffin. Quite literally, the emptiness is punching holes into my chest, leave his body feeling vacant. Leaves his body feeling vacant, unfulfilled because he's calling out to him, you know, and he can't get through. I agree.
Dude, I think that kind of feeds into like the next line, like
Yeah. I want to say one more thing. Sil's cooking, so I'm gonna let him cook a little. He said, "I like to think the song." He answered the question I asked you. He said, "I like to think this song is about the punishment we give ourselves when feeling the guilt of survival. We are our own greatest enemy, and the longer we're left to our own devices, the more we craft to harm ourselves and make ourselves feel inherently worse for being the only ones to survive what those who came with us could not. Survivor's guilt." I saw that was put in the chat earlier too. So whoever said survivor's guilt, epitome of failure. Yo, you guys are cooking, bro. You guys are cooking. Night Owl said it's like psychological and spiritual. I love it. Yo, facts though, like much deeper than just a lyric that bro put into a song and was like, this is fire. It's there's such a deeper meaning to it that he may have intended it to be this way, that we can interpret it such different ways, like literally or metaphorically. um but the art is just undeniably beautiful. I mean, the way this dude Miles Sewerperson crafts the music, um it leaves us for so much to talk about, and it's like an open-ended letter. Every song's like an open-ended letter. um where were we? This next line: I could give you what you need, take my muscle, take my teeth. All my use to them has left me as a hermit in the trees. He's literally saying that he has nothing left. Like, he gave everything to someone, maybe to a cause or to people he trusted, and once they got what they needed, they left him to rot. They left him alone in the woods. It's loneliness layered on top of all the trauma, all the depression, all the pain. Like, surviving cost him everything and everybody he had. Um, damn. For the whole bridge, where do you? I'll
yeah,
read
dude,
that.
he said
I'll read that after whole. You want to read that after I do the next line? Because I think he answered a question I got.
Yeah, you touched on a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, Sil, you were cooking, bro. Jesus, fuck. Um, Next line is as above, so below. I have taken to this home with my hands turning blue. I will climb from this hole. So when y'all hear this, I'm asking the question that I had, even though Sil answered it. When y'all hear this, do you feel like a push to like keep going, or does it sound like he's like crawling because he has no choice? I want to know how you like feel about this right now. Do you think he's saying that he has no choice, or he's motivated to keep going? And while we contemplate on that, Heber, can you read that paragraph?
Oh yeah, sure. I was gonna answer your question, but yeah, should I answer your question? I don't know.
You can, yeah, answer my question, and then I want to
Okay,
read that
sorry.
paragraph because I don't want
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
go
for sure.
unsaid.
Okay. No, for sure. It was like I was just gonna quickly say I think it's either like it's either or I thought it was either acceptance of like the place that they're in, but I also kind of like obviously took it metaphorically. So I kind of thought maybe it was just like the awareness of the below and above, and so it's like sort of the potential of where to go, I guess, you know.
Damn.
But yeah, let's go ahead and see what Seal said because he mentioned a lot of good stuff. He said he had a whole thing written for the bridge. So let's see. The bridge of the song seems almost reminiscent of the hymn or a prayer, or I don't know if that says I don't know I don't know how to say that word. Sorry, or a prayer. It reads like a poem. I could give you what you need. Take my muscle. Take my teeth. Well, yeah, it reads like a poem. Interesting. It's true. Showing a direct willingness to self-sacrifice and offering parts of himself just for the sake of somebody else, and shows a complete disregard of his own well-being. Yeah, I was also thinking that too, and like how you mentioned how like he's already lost everything, you know, like you were saying. So it's like when you're at that position, it's like I feel like you could only give, maybe I don't know, you know. It's like when like when you can only go so low, and then there's only up there, whatever. And I guess that's self-sacrifice in my head.
Yeah.
All my use to them has left me as a hermit in the trees. Offers offers us another insight into the exploitation he's been subjected to as a result of his good nature. And after all his energy from sacrificing himself for the sake of others has been left to resign himself into a secluded, isolated space with nobody else in sight, because that's like what a hermit is. They're usually lonesome.
Facts.
Another nod to the loneliness he faces. As above, so below, I have taken to this home, follows on with that same line of thought and expresses that the loneliness he feels in this isolation is no different from the loneliness he felt during the exploitation from those around him. Like you were saying, thus making acclimating. Sorry, I don't know how to say that word. It's a literal isolation, acclimating to literal isolation, feeling like nothing. Feel like nothing. The final line bridge ends with "When my hands turning blue, I will climb from this." When my hands turning blue, I will climb from this hole, which seems to imply it would take a threat of death to attempt him to rejoin humanity or offer it another chance, and adds the general disillusionment of the whole track and leaves the song feeling almost cynical.
Bro, I think I want to rewrite my breakdown just because Sil's like changing my mind.
Some good stuff, yeah.
Dude, damn, bro. He
Yeah,
said,
I know that.
when my hands turning blue, I will climb from this hole, seems to imply that it would take the threat of death to even tempt him to rejoin humanity and offer it another chance. I didn't even think of it like that. I thought of it more of like a acceptance. You know, he's been holding on so long that, you know, his hands are turning blue. He's starting to give up. He's starting to wither away. Wow. Epitome of Failure said, when I hear him say as above so below, I think of the horror movie that has the same title. I don't know if there's any tie, but that's just what I think of immediately when I hear that bar. And Night Owl just said, yeah, me, I think that's just the reference to a movie as above so below. What is that movie, guys? Hang on. As above so below. We are consulting Professor Google.
Dude, this looks good. I don't know. I'm thinking of dabbling right now.
As above so below is about a tomb raider and her crew hunt for treasure in the catacombs under the streets of Paris and find themselves in a hellish underworld.
To get the Philosopher's Stone. That's fucking sick.
Are you
Sounds cool.
guys wait, Paris. Werewolf. Werewolf in London, werewolf in Paris. Yo. Yo. Is he tying everything together?
This is it. Yeah, Catacombs of Paris, dude.
Is he tying everything together, bro? Like, am I tripping? Is that a stretch? Is that a stretch? Chat, tell me right now, is that a stretch? Heber, is that a stretch?
It's just the old human pattern recognition or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, I think it's definitely aligned with since we're meant to like break all these songs down like in one episode or whatever, or because that last time we were breaking down Werewolf in Paris, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. All right. I just went down a whole rabbit hole and got
or
distracted.
had a Jimmy Neutron moment.
Yeah, for real. Yo, Stars put a gif in the chat that's like a brain exploding. That's literally me right now, bro. Like looking at that and seeing Paris and thinking how we just did the breakdown on Werewolf in London. And Werewolf in Paris is another side of that I don't want to get too far ahead because I want to do a breakdown of Paris too, but you know. And then as above, so below, it takes place in Paris where the werewolf was hellish underworld. If you guys saw the movie Underworld or the series back in the day, there's werewolves. There's no way that this doesn't tie together, guys. I need somebody to write a theory from my brain because I can't put it into words right now. Like, where's Sam H with the theories, dude? I need somebody's help. Anyways, let me go. Let me move on because holy shit. I'm gonna think more about that, and I want to revisit that in the future. Because as above, so below, all of that. There's no way. As above, so below. I have taken to this home with my hands turning blue. I will climb from this hole. I'm thinking that this is rock bottom, cold, lifeless, buried, but there's still a quiet push to rise. There's an acceptance in what's happened to maybe somehow keep going and to resurrect. You know? Oh, Danny's cooking, yo. It's not
Yeah,
just a movie. Danny said the phrase signifies correspondence between the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm. Oh, the macrocosm and the microcosm. The universe and the individual or earthly existence, suggesting that what occurs in one realm is reflected in another. As above, so below, I have taken to this home.
I see what they're saying. Yeah.
Fuck my breakdown for that line, bro. Y'all got it,
I
okay?
mean, that one's crazy. Yeah.
Y'all got it, bro. Holy shit.
No, I mean that line is definitely a thinker, dude. I mean,
Still said he's at the brink, and as you die, you contemplate the choices you've made through your whole life, choosing to reintegrate with nature, with the nature of humanity, even despite the way it's let him wither up to this point. It's a choice he's unhappy with, but trying to accept death at this point feels almost futile after willingly subjecting himself to living anyways. Damn, seeing macrocosm and microcosm used feels so eloquent. Goddamn, yo, I don't even know what those words mean, guys. All right, I say it enough. Third grade reading level. So the next line starts the chorus. Bullet dodger, if they stake me, paint me auburn, then we all burn. I feel like it's recited with an intentional urgency. You know, you hear the pain, the agony in his voice. You know, everything kind of quiets down for a minute, and then bullet dodger, hey, I hit that note. If they take him down, everyone goes with him. That's how tangled the pain is. You know, it's not just his alone. That's the curse of surviving. He's not a hero. He's not just a survivor. He's the one who got missed. You know, he's feeling all the wounds even though he's alive. And being missed doesn't mean you're spared. Just because you dodged the bullet doesn't mean you're free, because you're carrying the pain and legacy of others. If they stake me and paint me Auburn, and then we'll all burn. Well, I actually had the same line of thought for this. Yeah, Sil. Yeah, Sil. What's good? No, nothing left to say to that one, huh? Um, and then he goes on to say, like his father, traitor half breed, take his life first. It's an elven honor. Blood and sinew, let it rain down, let it fall upon me, for I have offered. He said, like his father, traitor half breed, take his life first. It's an elven honor. I'm taking this as like a code of war, a broken code of war. It's like betrayal kind of runs in the bloodline. You know, it's more cycles, it's more sacrifice, and it's a ritual that he's not resisting. He's surrendering to the weight of everything, to all the pain, to carrying the legacy of others and taking it all in. Do you think, like, if you were in the shoes of the character that Sewerperson's portraying in the song, do you think that you'd like feel like you're living at this point with all this baggage? Heber?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, dude. Um, I mean, I guess I'd have to, or I guess I'd have to feel something, you know, so long as I'm alive. But it's definitely crazy living.
Yeah. Epitome of Failure said, I'd feel like I'm in purgatory. See, like, exactly. I think, like, if I was to bear as much weight as this person is bearing, I'd lose it. I'd it'd be brutal. You know, it's like, one, you've lost everybody and everything around you, and you've let yourself get used to the point where you feel worthless. You're at the end of your line, really. You're surrendering yourself to um you're surrendering yourself and giving humanity another chance, even though you've been rejecting it for so long. And I don't know, man. I just feel like at this point in the song, you know, we still have a little bit more to go. I feel like I'd be hopeless, dude. I don't know. I don't know how I'd be able to go on knowing, like, it's inherited too. Like, like his father, you know, it's inherited. So he's not the only person who's living this agony, this pain. He's a
Is
bullet.
that what you think? Like, is that what you think he's saying? Then like if they stake me, then we all burn, or like when I don't know. I thought that line kind of put like a lot of like responsibility on the person as well. You know, it's like
Yeah, I feel like I feel like
it's-
I feel like he feels obligated to carry the legacy of his friend who was chalked out. Who, you know, I feel like he's pressured to keep living for those around him who can't. If they stake me, then we all burn. And
it's also it's like he's the only one who can do this. Maybe like his
yeah,
well-being like depends on this or whatever.
yeah. I mean, and it ends with him too, because if he's gone, then everything's gone. You know, the memory and the legacy of them is all, you know, just poof, just gone. So sad. Huh, that's a cool note. It almost feels like having the weight of everything consuming him has acted almost like a zombification, like the engine that drives him forward entirely the engine that drives him forward runs entirely on reluctant acceptance of the hand he's dealt, and perhaps infantilizes Jesus the gravity of the situation, reducing it down to a simple, this is the obligation left to me by those who crumbled under the weights that crush my back, maybe. No, facts. Seriously, I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I've said it 8 million times already. Um, so moving on, he's a bullet dodger. He's a broken heart beast, left to rot left to rot at harbor and there's nothing calmer. I feel like that last line is absolutely insane. I feel like it's kind of brutal too, because there's always this calmness that comes with something so evil, so negative. I don't know if you guys feel that way though. Like me personally, it's like something can set me off to the point where I'm so angry and like going insane, but that's the only thing that matters. So like everything in the world, any worries that I have, just leave my brain when I'm going through something. It's calm. It's the calm before the storm. There you go. The calm before the storm is one of the natural orders of the world. That ass. I feel like
Think of that.
I feel like the last line's brutal. I feel like throughout the song, he's stating that dodging these bullets literally doesn't make you free. It just leaves you kind of floating like a ship at harbor, like wreckage, like rotting slowly, like, you know, and you're still
Crazy.
pretending that everything's good, even though, that's where the calmness comes from too, is you're feeding yourself like false hope. Really. You lose those around you, but you live. It's an eye for an eye, which, the world goes blind. And then after that, the song kind of loops. And this time, I feel like the vocals are intentionally emphasized. I feel like there's more despair this time around. We're back to the grapes. We're back to the fire in the gut, the scars, the friend in the box. Because none of this is linear. Nothing in life is a straight line from start to finish. Grief always comes back and guilt never goes away. But the main question of it all still hangs in the balance. If it's such hell, why the fuck do we oblige? And personally, I think the truth of the matter is because somebody has to live to tell the tale. Even if it burns so much that it keeps you up late at night, burns so much that something as small as spoons, silverware, can set you off over the edge to lash out. Most of Sewer's music speaks to a central theme of being a survivor to wounds, the bearer of bad news, the one who lived through the gunfire, the explosions, the inexplicable violence that's depicted in his lyrics. Maybe that's why so many of us relate to the music. Because we might feel like we're the ones who lived to tell the tale. Mic drop.
Yeah.
That's really what I had for Bullet Dodger. I mean, it's a song that when I first heard, I didn't necessarily like every song, we didn't necessarily catch everything, and then I read the lyrics and I'm starting to break it down, and it's like the more you look into it, the more you can relate to it. Like Doa just said, the lyrics apply to every situation ever, and it's crazy relatable. Like, there's no way that people can go on in life after a situation, whether it's losing somebody who was in your family, or even if it's just a relationship and you don't actually like lose somebody to death, you carry that baggage of like the hope that you guys had. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to put what I was just thinking into words because like Doa said, this song relates to everything. I literally think that the title Bullet Dodger fits it so perfectly. And the title is kind of misleading though, because it makes people think about just dodging the bullet and not the pain that you have to deal with afterwards.
But the song actually makes you think about that.
Yeah, dude, this song makes me think about a lot, especially when it comes on when I'm driving to work in the morning, bro. Like, this is one of the songs off of Detour that I played back like 3 or 4 times after hearing it the first time, just because it's like when that chorus comes back, like when it comes back in the end, the lyrics, and it's emphasized, you hear the pain in it, bro. Like you hear the distortion, the slight distortion in his voice. You hear like his vocal cords being strained, like he's screaming the lyrics, dude. Like it's, and when it first came around, he was like, "Well, the grapes are winter, well, fine, blah blah blah." And the second time, he's screaming it, bro. Like it's done with, bro. He's bearing he's lashing out. He's
But even it's worse this time, maybe. But yeah, it's like Seal was just saying in the chat something I was thinking about too, because you mentioned it. It was like he said, I didn't think about this when I was looking back through the song, but choosing to repeat the hook right after the second verse almost seems almost poetic after hearing your perspective. It's almost as if saying the things will start and end the same, but the journey itself is the message that persists through time, possibly to reach. That's funny. Okay, I wasn't thinking that, but that's a crazy. That's a reach. But that's cool though. That's a crazy cool idea. I was just thinking like it's the repeating of grief, but it's like happening again, even worse. Because like
damn,
these thoughts come back. But yeah, that's what he
always.
said. It's almost as if saying things will always start and end the same, but the journey itself is the message that persists through time. It's kind of like you were saying, like living to tell the tale. Um,
Damn, bro. There is a whole different layer of him repeating the hook slash bridge, right? Yo, that's crazy. I never thought about it like that too. I mean, I did, but at the same time, I didn't think like the start and end the same thing. It can be interpreted like that 100%.
yeah, for sure.
Chalk and top is Friday, try to suppose me spine. Such a good song, bro. That was my breakdown on Bullet Dodger, guys.
That's sick.
I really appreciate all the chats and everything on that. That was fun. It's one of the songs that, like I said, I replayed instantly, multiple times just because it resonates with me so deeply. And I'm happy that I'm not alone in feeling like, I can take every line of that song and apply it to my life because we're all bullet dodgers, man. I mean, look at what's going on in the world right now, bro. I don't want to say too much because I'm not going to get political on a podcast or anything, bro, but like whatever side you're on, look at what's going on the other side. There's so much strain in our lives and stress in our lives right now. Like we're all carrying the pain of somebody else. We're all dodging a bullet. It's just Sewerperson has enough balls to write a track about it. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
That's true. That's a big takeaway. We're all bullet dodgers, and in some way, like, yeah, this is all relatable.
Yeah. Uh Damn. Heber, you're the man,
What's
bro.
up?
You're the one for Hush. You wanna get right into it, bro?
Yeah, dude, this is it's gonna be Hush, produced by Uni Golds, absolute goated producer. Yeah, we can go ahead and listen to the song
Absolutely.
if you're down.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Doa, if you think anything should be clipped, send me the timestamps or put them in the chat and I'll clip it. I'm gonna play the song real quick though. Damn, my Discord's lagging, bro. Why every time I stream now my Discord sucks? All right. This is Hush. Heber's gonna run through a breakdown with you guys. I'm gonna be here. I got some notes like always. So, let's see how this goes. This is another really good song. I think last time I talked about how like I kind of slept on this song until I listened to it 30 times. I didn't realize how much I liked the song until I was breaking it down on a podcast. You know, it went way over my head. And it's something that another song that I really resonate with. So shout out to Heber for choosing this one because I wouldn't have chose it. Not gonna lie. Um, the bot's restarting. Try again in a few seconds.
Seal said his Discord died. He's crashing out. So it's like same situation.
Perhaps the gods have toyed with me once more. Sentenced me to yet more years in this place of eternal nightlight. But now, maybe my ill advice has ended you. Have you rung death's doorbell? Please don't leave poor Red alone once more, like all the others.
When the lights go out and you lay spin and the wind's knocked down the chain link fence around your house and the wisp grows shrill. In this place, you're safest still. When the tears drip down to the perfect mess and the words let out, Marcus one last breath. Inside your house is an old wood chest with a sword laid out to avenge his death. So twist this blade into those you deem were the last his eyes had a chance to see. With his seal stained red, you have pierced his dreams. Do you feel so changed? Do you feel so free? When the life you've lived has become his own, and his bloodlust plagued everything you've known. When your own free will has at last been stripped by a dead man's wish that you die on his hill, then you will finally know. You'll finally know. You'll finally know. You'll finally know. Will you finally see? Will you finally know that his pride-linked axe has destroyed your home? Look at what you could have been, my love. Just look at what you could have been, my love. When the rain dries up and the crowd goes home, will you still take pride in the hate you hold?
God damn, Heber, why'd you choose one that's gonna make me cry?
Dude, yeah, I didn't mean to, but just ended up happening.
Damn, bro. What a good instrumental too.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Yanni Goldsmo. I love that guy, dude. So sick. He just got married recently, I think. Pretty sure. Very
Really?
congratulations on that, dude.
Shout
Yeah.
out to bro, man. If you W Yunny Golds, man.
It was you, dude.
Look at you, you
Super
little
sick,
cutie
dude.
pie. All right, my bad.
No, but yeah, it was absolutely sick. Should we should we get started on the breakdown?
Oh yeah.
All right. Obviously at the beginning here we have this we have this quote that we just found out today where it's from in the sewer court chat. Shout out to Seal in the chat right now for the intro of Hush. Just said it in the chat right now. The intro of Hush is taken from he's doing the breakdown for me. Look at this. Look. It's taken from a radio monologue of Tom, nicknamed Redwood, in the game Penumbra Overturn, a survival horror game from 2007. In this monologue, you see Red working through the turmoil. Sorry, this is so funny. Working through the turmoil of being left alone. Right, he's alone, lonely guy. He feels as though his entire life is lived entirely on the whim of the gods and seems to write in the knowledge that everything feels deserved. The specific monologue allows us preemptive insight into the internal war throughout the song, caused by the damage of being lulled into a false sense of security, and how the complacency we find in solace in can also be the remedy, architect of our own demise. Despite this, there's still a lingering hope that we can remedy the destruction if we allow ourselves the tools to correct the course we set upon us, and that even when things seem hopeless, there's always a way to fix the balance. It's very hopeful outlook. I like that. No, I like that. I'm an optimistic guy. So yeah,
That is a very
yeah,
hopeful
dude. So
outlook.
yeah, that's sick, dude. But so I think we'll get a better understanding of what he's actually saying after we break down the song a little more too, because you're saying a lot of stuff that like kind of is like part of the outline of the song. But yeah, so let's get started. So let me actually just wanted to start with like the quote that he says, I guess. Because we found out today that the quote is from that, we actually got like the correct lyrics for it. There was like different lyrics. And I think it makes a little more sense now in terms of relating to the rest of the song. So he starts off saying, "Perhaps the gods have toyed with me once more, sentenced me yet to more years in this place of eternal nightlight. But now maybe my ill advice is aimed at you. Have you rung death's doorbell? Please don't leave poor Red all alone once more, like all the others." Um, Obviously, like in this place of eternal nightlight, suggesting that their reality is like it's not good. It's a dark place that they're living in. You know,
Yeah,
it's and they believe that a power beyond them has caused this and has done this to them. You know,
yeah,
um, and obviously here it's a plead to not leave him alone like 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 he's been before. So he's asking a favor here. I think this we'll get into how that relates to the rest of the song, yeah, here when we get to the part later on. But yeah. But yeah, as Seal said, it's from it's a video game called Penumbra Overturn, 2007 horror game. But yeah, let's get into the what is it called? The lyrics. The lyrics of the song, eh?
word.
Yeah. When the lights go out and you lay spent, and the wind's knocked down in the chain link fence around your house. And yeah, just these first like songs I think is just super like massive visualization of like the setting and environment, you know? Just a lot of good metaphor, a lot of good visuals here. Um, I think it's also maybe a metaphor for what's happening in the song. You could imagine like a property where like the lights are out and there's a person laying down, like just out of winds, you know, like almost dying. And then winds are knocking down the fences. You know, it's like this is not I guess sunny setting or whatever. You know.
No, not at all.
Uh, yeah, that's just a good first four lines. Yeah, here we go. Seal's talking about the first four lines here. What's it called? He's of the song detail frailty and fragility in the face of exhaustion. In the starting segment, as the whole plays with ideas of security, measuring up the feeling of being feeble, with the notion of the walls of your soul being shredded by the motions of life as they wear you down. The use of chain link fence makes the internal side of this feel very cagey, and in turn suggests the metaphorical fence was being used as a blockade between a more vulnerable place and one that isn't yet ready to be exposed. Interesting. Wow. Um, yeah, and then he gets into the wisp grows shrill, especially makes it seem like beyond knocking down the fence, there's a fragmented soul that seems to be slowly fizzling out after prolonged exposure to the elements that have now guarded, that have not that the guard keep the most sensitive parts, that guard and keep the most sensitive parts safe has been removed. Interesting. Yeah, that was actually just the next line there. After around the chain link fence around your house, and the wisp grows shrill in this place. Or after that, it's in this place. We were safest still. I thought the wisp grows shrill part was like kind of actually like like a noise getting louder in some sense, possibly like something like getting unbearable, or just because like I don't know, maybe it's like just sort of like my fantasization of like what happens when you're dying. It's like there's like a loud ringing noise, maybe. I don't know, dude. But that's kind of what I thought too. Is like that's happening to the person laying out spent. But yeah, Seal also like mentioned like the exhaustion in relation to their
Damn.
but yeah, did you have any thoughts on like those first couple lines here? And obviously next we got a pretty big banger line in this place where safe is still.
Lights go out and you lay spent, and the winds knock down the chain link fence around your house. I think it's just symbolizing, like Sil said, building on what Sil said, the exhaustion after a tragedy. Like everything's feeling dark, heavy. You know, the person's immobile. The paint, the picture that it's painting is kind of like a dark, you know, what is it like you guys ever seen like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, like the house that Charlie used to live in? I'm imagining like a rickety house with holes
Crazy.
in it and stuff, and a fence that's falling over. Like that's what I'm seeing right here, you know. um yeah, just crazy imagery in these first couple lines here, kind of like how he's capturing the listener with the imagery. It's a good tactic. He's really good at this stuff. Miles, what do you put in
Yeah,
your music, bro?
good images. That's what I get out of it. Shit, I don't know, dude.
Facts.
Um, or at least with these like very articulate lines. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, Shrill said shrill is usually associated with loud, piercing sounds, but there's also a thing where after a certain pitch, the noise becomes basically inaudible and seemingly fizzles out, which is why I felt more towards fading. But I think it works really either way. A good perspective. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think it could work either way with the perspective. Yeah, because like at some point, I guess maybe like certain pitches we just can't hear at some point, or but yeah, or just like it seemingly fizzles out, like you said. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. Could look at it either way. But yeah, we'll go ahead into this next line. It says, "In this place we are safest still." I think like even despite all the negative imagery going on, it's like this is we're being reminded that this is still like the best place we can actually be right now. Unfortunately, because like I guess um in terms of I guess where we're at in life maybe but at least that's what it says so far. um, but then next we're saying when the tears drip down to a perfect mess. Um, I think this is it's sort of the perfect mess could be signifying that this person is sort of like in just the right emotional state for like what could or what's about to happen next. But also the lyrics themselves, I think, can just be super relatable to anybody that's been like recently been in a heavy emotional state, and that has enabled them into something to do something else because it's sort of like you know you're in this like perfect mess of emotions that allow you to do this action, this next thing, you know. Yeah, it's because like I guess because you know we're emotional fuel beings or whatever. You know, we do things because we feel we want to. But yeah, anyways,
Definitely.
um,
I agree.
yeah. But the next thing that they that the perfect mess I believe is like sort of for is the words that let out that mark his one last breath here. That's the next lyrics. I think, and these lines also connect to a later line later on where it talks about a dead man's wish, I believe, or at least I connected the lines. Next it says, inside your house is an old wood chest with the sword laid out to avenge his death. Um, and yeah, I think this would be the request of, or the last man's request to like avenge his death, or at least that's like how I interpreted it.
Right, like an expectation to get revenge for him.
Yeah, and I think, but I also believe that the person like took on the request, you know, and you know, and do the thing. But then obviously in this next lines, I think in this next lines that actually is like describing sort of like what how the events transpired, which is so you twist this blade into those you deem were the last his eyes had the chance to see. Yeah. With steel stained red, you have pierced his dreams. Do you feel so changed? Do you feel so free? And here we get into some heavy, I guess, just heavy thoughts. I feel just I think it's just a deep line there.
Yeah,
You know, do you
definitely.
feel so changed? Do you feel so free? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, it's like a, it's like a, it's almost like it's like a rhetorical question. Like makes you like it's like for you to think about. You know, think about where you're at. I guess and like answer these questions after some thought. I guess you know
Is that like him
because
like
it's
is it like him questioning actions? Could it
yeah, I
be?
think so. Or just sort of like how you feel after this has been done, I guess.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's sort of, I think like in sort of any revenge story, I feel like the completion of the revenge doesn't actually like change people for the better. It just or even or I don't even think it makes them feel better as they may have thought it would have. So it's like this is like why he's asked, do you feel so changed? Do you feel so free? You know, it's
Hmm.
like did it like did it end up going how you thought, I guess maybe.
Did it actually fix what you tried to fix?
And it's
Or
like
yeah.
oh, uh, 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 then Seal said, "These three lines that follow feel like a silent pledge and offer from the recesses of his mind, giving him tools to take corrective measures in order to repair the damage that has been weathered slash corroded him over time. Beneath the poetic directness, it's almost cordial plea to himself shown by the soft delivery of the lines, paired with some of the harsher words like twist, avenge, deem, death, creates a sense that he's trying to soften the impact of everything as he offers a path to salvation. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. I
Wow.
like how you I like how you mentioned like the what's it called? The softer delivery of lines. It's very I like the the noticement of it all, you know, it's sick.
Hmm.
Oh, I guess we can go on to the next part here. When the life you've lived has become his own, and his bloodlust plagued everything you've known. I think just that's like obviously it's like as you're going through this, it's like you're giving your life to this last person's request, essentially, you know. Um, and so it's like this revenge rage that you're going on. It's gonna like sort of taint everything you've already known to this point now, I guess.
Yeah.
When your own free will has last been stripped by a dead man's wish that you die on his hill. And this is what I was referring to with the dead man's wish. Um, that you die on his hill is just referring to like I believe he's referring to like die by or you but the death is essentially because you are not doing your personal will, you're doing the revenge will, which isn't like what I believe not to be your true will, but you know you're doing it because you know emotion fueled or whatever. But yeah,
Hmm.
or maybe just like maybe manipulated in some sense because like it was saying like the perfect mess of emotional state, you know, and then for the request to come in after that, you know. But yeah, and then the next line, oh, did Seal say something? Never mind. What's it called? Then you will finally know, you will finally know, you will finally know. I mean, those lines are just, they hit so crazy, dude. Just because like the delivery is just like they're so long, and it's like you have so much like time to process a lot, or maybe just a little bit of what you heard, you know,
Hmm.
and it's like extrapolate on that in your mind while this is like playing.
And like
And also maybe just like think of new things. But yeah, what's up?
the main vocal chord in that will you finally know, you'll finally know, you'll finally know is so soft. And then there's the layerings that go in what is it called when it goes from one ear to another? Phase. When he has a phaser on his ad libs in the background where he's screaming the lyrics. It like adds such a different level of like intensity. I don't know. I think that that part of the song is just one that like if you weren't paying attention, even though it's like coming towards the end of the song, you're like, all right, he got me now. I just wanted to talk on the ad libs on that part just because I feel like the artistry that went into that part, he's delivering such a smooth bass vocal chord, and then the background's him freaking out.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. It's really cool. I love it. It's cool.
Facts.
What's it called? But yeah, we were just saying, you will finally know, you will finally see, you will finally, oh, sorry, you will finally know, will you finally see, will you finally know that his pride linked axe has destroyed your home. I think that's also just back to like like this has taken over you in some sense, you know, or like the request has taken over, and like it's not you anymore. You know, this your temple, you know, your body, your home, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not, it's just been destroyed in some sense because you're not serving it, you're serving another thing. And then the next line would be, look at what you could have been, my love. Just look at what you could have been, my love. I think this is just also like maybe the hardest hitting line. That's definitely one of the hardest hitting lines in the song, just because like without even like paying attention to anything else going on in the song, it's like this is like just a super like relatable liner in terms of like I guess maybe we all just have people in our lives where like we wish they could have done better, you know. I guess you
Yeah.
know, or I don't know, it just made me think of that, you know. It just but yeah,
And
it's just super hard hitting because it's like I feel like super relatable. Yeah.
yeah, and this person is essentially living for the person that they lost, but Sewer kind of comes in and he's like, "Yo, like, look what you could have been if you didn't have that violent chip on your shoulder, if you didn't have this nasty lust for revenge." Ooh. Shout out Lust in the chat. Love you, JP.
For sure. Yeah, they were showing their favorite parts of the song, and I'm like, yeah, those like it's like should I talk about like the hard hitting parts, you know? But
Yeah.
Seal was saying the repetition too adds another layer to the message. It's like a choice to remind you of the consequences you reaped from the path you've chosen. Instead of being the one under threat, you've become the conduit for somebody else's will and rage. But yeah, I agree with like the repetition adds another layer to the message too. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in this part too, there's more screaming vocals in the background too. You know, like the bass, the main vocal line is just so soft, and that, you know, he has a nice voice. Miles has a nice voice that comes across very nice with auto tune, and then just that screaming, repeating, "Look what you could have been. Look what you could have been." Like, it's deep.
Paul G. Dola said, it seems kind of silly, but the line, look at what you could have been, my love, keeps me going to be the best version of myself. I repeat it whenever I feel like I'm not reaching my full potential. That's massive, actually, dude. Yeah, yeah, it could definitely be. I don't think I've ever looked at it like looking at myself like that, but yeah, that's super big. It's like massive.
Is the song about himself? I know we have one more
Think
line, but
anything.
like, yo,
I gotta read.
you saying that, Doa, you saying that you repeat it to yourself is like, is this a letter to himself to not let his want for
That's interesting.
revenge taint him further?
It's an interesting reach into the psyche of Miles Sewerperson. Like, but yeah, no, it's an interesting take. Yeah, I never thought of that, but that's like super valid.
Doa, that was a really good take.
Yeah, it was massive. Yeah, Seal said it was massive too. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
Wow.
Should we go on to the next lines here?
Yes, for sure.
All right. Yeah, just look at what you could have been, my love. And then when the rain dries up and the crowd's gone home, will you still take pride in the hate you hold? That's the that's the end of the song. But this being a sort of like a final ask, if if they're gonna continue being the way they are. And also I think the rain dries up, the crowd goes home is sort of like I feel like, you know, once you're like fully alone for like a long enough time, then you could actually like start to like see how where you're at, you know, and how you're actually feeling about this. And it's like that's the position in which it would be best to ask, will you still take pride in the hate you hold? And or like and like the you know, like the song was saying earlier, will you finally see, will you finally know, you know? It's in this when the rain dries up and the crowd's gone home, you know. The rain drying up is like, you know, the storm is like passing a little bit now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's like the crowd's gone and it's like it's just you. So you have you're pretty much forced to think about this now.
Will you still
Yeah, I
take
guess
pride?
eventually you'd be forced to.
It's like asking if you're gonna reflect on it and see if it's something you regret or not. reminding himself, like Doa said. Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's actually so massive. I'm
Damn.
gonna be thinking back to this now, like, dang, that's how I should have been thinking. Like, or whenever I hear the song again, I'll be like, wow, I could be doing,
Yo, it
I
still
could be
had
doing
me
better.
feeling that way in freaking part one, bro, with the werewolf shit. I was like, I'm thinking that this is like, and he was like, nah, dude, he is the werewolf. And I was like, it was right under my nose, and he's like, nah, he is the werewolf. Fucking crazy, bro. I don't know. I think the song's beautiful. I can tell you that.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I think it's like, what do I have wrote? I have a little summary. I didn't write all of that. I said, this one feels like a story about grief turning into inherited violence. It's like revenge turning you into a bad person. It starts in the aftermath of a loss, and then everything feels broken and unsafe but quiet. And then there's this image of a sword left behind, like someone's last wish for you is to avenge their name, take revenge in their name. So the song kind of like walks you through what happens if you do, and then carrying out that vengeance doesn't seem to like make anything better. It strips you of who you are and leaves you living and dying at the expense of somebody else, at somebody else's cause. And in the end, you're just left with all of the hate and all of the regret of doing this to avenge somebody else. um I think that last line too, it really like hits it home too. When it's all over, will you still feel proud of that hate that you held on to, or would you wish that you'd let it go? I think that's what repetition too is him realizing, if he is asking himself, if he's reminding himself, like, you'll finally see, well, you finally know, just look what you could have been, if he's reminding himself, he's regretting it all. He's noticing what he did was, I don't know if I'm using this right, but in vain. Yeah. In my
You used
mind,
it right.
I'm using in vain correctly.
In my mind too.
Still said, another bittersweet touch to the last line specifically is that usually rain has been used as something that cleanses us. And here it's like, what, when that's gone and we're no longer to be able to be purified, will we still be able to live with ourselves? Also, in reference to Werewolf in London, Werewolf in Paris is the perfect other half of the yin yang. I could talk about it forever. Oh yeah, we'll do one about Werewolf in Paris. Um,
That's interesting.
damn.
No, but yeah, dude, I was like, wow, I actually didn't think about like the water being like a cleansing of sense. That's I actually never thought of that before. But that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, but yeah, dude, my summary was basically exactly what you said. It was like just metaphor, like the whole song just felt like a huge metaphor for somebody not acting of their own will and what a person could be brought to when that happens, basically. And like you said, it's like I don't think the person doing these horrible things, I don't think they felt any better from it in the end, or I don't think anybody would. Maybe who knows?
So what Doa said has me rethinking like the
Oh
whole
yeah, dude.
song.
For sure.
I
Right.
was thinking like Miles is writing this from the perspective of somebody who's actually committing revenge for somebody. But what if that person's dying wish in the beginning was like the old him? What if a relationship wrecked him to the point where his old self is dying and he left a sword on the bed for himself to pick back up and catch revenge on all of those? Like what if he's
Yo.
going around, yo, Doa,
Dude, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's actually something.
what if the song's about him basically like, what if this is actually Miles trying to grieve a version of himself lost when his addiction and substance abuse started? Seriously. What if this is him venting about, what if this isn't a story? What if this is actually like real life? You know? Holy shit.
Sorry, I just thought it all turns out to be a Sopranos episode. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Dude.
Funny how? Funny how?
I don't know. I
That's
haven't seen it, but I really
crazy.
want to just because like there's so many references here.
Dude, watch it. Me and my buddies have watched it, and
Absolutely, I need
it's
to.
so worth it. It's worth it just for the entertainment, but you'll get a ton of Sewerperson lore just by watching it, because
Sure.
he a lot of his songs come from The Sopranos, bro. Like a lot. World of Warcraft and The
Yeah,
Sopranos, I
definitely
think, are his
motivator.
two biggest influences for music. um, yeah. I think that's pretty much all we had for the breakdowns.
I believe so. I believe so. That's
So
what's Seal saying? That would explain the pitiful tone in the last few lines. The disappointment seems almost palpable in that delivery. Yeah, dude, the delivery, man, it's crazy. Gotta pay more attention to these things. Crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I only pay attention to the delivery, like, because I go through and I'll break down the lyrics. Like, how I write my breakdowns is like I'll literally go through and then copy the SoundCloud description into Google Docs and space out every lyric and write what I think it is in the middle of. And then I'll go through and I'll focus on the delivery, which is why when I was doing Bullet Dodger, I was like, the hi hats come in perfectly timed for this and like stuff like that, because like the lyrics
Yeah,
can mean one thing, and then as we've seen in like Werewolf in London with the reversed voice coming back, like his artistry doesn't isn't just in the lyrics. Like he does subtle things in the music
dude.
too, like the ad
So
libs
immersive.
behind, yeah, the ad libs behind like,
Especially recently, I feel some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff.
yeah, bro, yeah, bro. Hour 47 minutes, guys. I ain't even gonna lie, that's a long ass time. So I think
Yeah, dude,
that's,
didn't expect that actually.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that's pretty much all we have for episode 6 from Pain to Poetry Part 2. Um, Still saying, I'm gonna say this one last thing in chat for you. So, techno animism is another great example of the production, delivery, and mastering adding to the story. That song is probably the pinnacle of that idea. What's crazy is like I need to look into that song more. Like I've listened to it and stuff, but it's more like if you watch the Tide for Silver interview, you were here for the Tide for Silver interview. He pointed out how it's kind of a more chill, mellow, like out of place song on the album, because he dropped it in the middle of two fucking heaters. And it's just that chill, mellow kind of slowed down, you know. Take a listen to how intentional the way some of the lines drip out in parts. There's such a depressing disconnect, and that shit's beautiful. Yeah, I will. I'll listen to it literally after I get off the stream and go roll my joint, because I'm interested in that. JP just said I had a different interpretation, but it's so different from. Yo, I said it in the stream where I brought Sutechi up on stage. Don't be shy. Don't ever be shy. Though I had a completely separate interpretation from everybody that made me rethink my whole. I have notes wrote to this Hush song, and it made me rethink all of the notes that I wrote. So like, if you have something that's different, please put it in the chat. Like, even if you have something that's the
Plus, I was
same,
actually really want to hear it.
yeah, like I wanna, yeah, I wanna see how much is gonna make me think. That's why I'm doing this too, is because like I wanna hear everybody else's point of view. So, JP, if you want to go through and do a submission, like a slash confess,
Sure.
and I can read it out in the next stream, in the beginning of the next stream, like do it seriously. I'd love to have your input on something, whether it's you coming up on stage and talking or you just dropping your theory in the chat. All input is welcome, whether you think it fits or not. I really don't care. This is the place for people to have their voice and use their voice. So, 100% of all ideas are good ideas, especially when it comes to these breakdowns, because there's no, Miles can say this song is supposed to be about this, and then we can come out and say, yo, well, you wrote about Corby and Elixir and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh shit, I did, you know? So Drop your ideas for real. Drop them in slash confess. Drop them while we're talking about them. It was a good conversation. We had a lot of contributions to this. Heber, your breakdown of Hush was beautiful. Good job,
Appreciate it.
bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Appreciate everybody that said something too, or just even watched, dude. This is it was cool. I'm got some insane ideas out with this. Like, dude, better than I could have ever imagined. That's all I
And
can say.
got a lot more to think about too, man. I want to kind of go listen
For sure.
from Miles' perspective and see if I can formulate an idea of this being like him kind of venting about an old version of himself that he's seeking vengeance for, or was seeking vengeance for, or something. I don't know. I like that. I really, really like that theory. Do you have anything to say before I flip to a outro?
Everybody has a good night. Has a good day if they're watching during the daytime, dude. But yeah, all love, dude. It's all cool. It's great.
Hello, bro. That was a lot of fun,
More
bro.
more to come. Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Always
Yeah.
more to come, man. Heber will be back in the future. We just picked apart two different songs that hit from different angles, but bruised in the same place. Bullet Dodger gave us that cold reality of what it costs to survive, and Hush walked us straight through the way that grief can turn something darker if you let it. Big thanks to my dude Heber for jumping back into the sewer with us. These are heavy tracks, and having somebody else to break down and hear his layers to it makes a huge difference, because I can sit up here and be like, I think this and I think that, but that's not a conversation. So that's why I like doing breakdowns with other people, is because I can do and talk about as much as I want, but I need input. I need somebody else who's just like, who I can, randomly throw a question to, or, it's always fun. These two podcasts with you have been a blast. The two Pain to Poetry podcasts and the Underground Loyalty Part 1, where we were reading the community submissions, they're a blast, bro. So I'll definitely be getting with you sometime and trying to plan another podcast. Big thanks.
Yeah, dude, big thanks to you as well, dude. This is like awesome. Great experience.
It's fun, man.
Like you guys should come on.
Seriously. So chat, I want y'all to keep this conversation going. After I press end stream, what line stuck with you the most tonight? Did it remind you of something in your own life? Or did it change the way you think about survival and revenge? Drop your takes in comments, in the podcast chat, on Discord. Do a /confess if you don't want your name on it. I read every message that's sent in the podcast chat. I can't keep up with general because we have a lot of people talking now. So I read every message that's sent, every confession that's sent. So, question of this week. We have two. What line stuck with you the most tonight? And did it remind you of something in your own life? Those are my questions. Do a /confess. JP, do a /confess with your take so I can read it. If you're listening on the replay, which a ton of you probably will, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell button. Instagram does not like me. I don't know when I'm going to get that back. So show me all the love. Show us all the love on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on so you can catch us when we're live next time. If you've been here since the early episodes, 1, 2, even the last episode, share it with somebody that you think would get the vision. One link from you might be the reason that somebody finds a song that gets them through the worst week of their life. Next week, we're shifting gears. We're going to keep it in the underground. I'm going to be talking some more about the people who helped build the scene around sewer. Artists, collaborators, friends, and associates of the sewer. You're going to hear some familiar names and my take on their stories. Let me emphasize this, guys. The information that I'm getting and everything in putting together for this podcast next week is my take on their stories. I'm going to try to get as correct as I can, but when we go back, 2017, there's a lot of gaps. So I'm kind of going from community to community. I'm going to touch base on 3 artists next stream, talk about 3 artists. When I'm trying to get information on all of these people, it's kind of hard to get a straight timeline from start to finish. So I'm doing my best. It's going to be my take on their stories. That's next week. What is it? 8/21. August 21st. August 28th, as I said before, is going to be a pre-recorded episode, and it is going to be more deep dives. I'm trying to do it with my friend, like a personal friend of mine. We just are having trouble juggling schedules, so if I can't do that, it'll just be me. I'm sure it'll be okay. I have an event in Buffalo that night. I have ringside seats to a wrestling event, so I'll be in there with the rappers and stuff, but that's 2 weeks from now, 28th, 8/28. How do I announce this? I have booked somebody in our chat who we consistently read takes from for an appearance on the podcast. And that'll be part 3 of From Pain to Poetry. But until then, take care of yourself, guys. Hydrate, eat something, step outside for a minute, touch grass.
Don't forget to send a submission for if you're an artist, you want to have a song in the intro or outro of the song, or if you have a friend who makes music, put in music,
Please. That
if you don't want to submit just your music, you can put your friend's music too. But yeah.
The only thing with that, guys, is if you're submitting your friend's music, please make sure your friend is not going to copyright me, because I will cut the fuck of his music out of my video. Don't copyright me. Anyways,
just make sure they're chill. They gotta be chill.
W plug, bro. I wasn't even thinking like fire.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, dude. I want as many people as possible.
Guys, just be kind to yourselves. Be kind to the version of yourself that made it this far. Because as we've heard in these songs, and we all pretty much said that we all relate to it, we've all carried a lot. So don't be hard on yourself. If you have a bad week, just look forward to next Thursday's podcast. If you're having a hard week, drop a confession. It's all anonymous. I literally cannot see who sends them through. So just say, yo, Dev, I'm having a hard week watching the podcast back. Thank you. Or just anything, man. Just drop a confession if you want to say hi. Like, I really don't care.
I was thinking like your deepest, honest feedback on the show, I guess, that you don't want to say publicly or something. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything, honestly. So this was episode 6. I'm Dev. This is my homie Heber. And this is Conversations in the Sewer. From the people who built the community, for the people who live in it. And we'll be seeing you sooner than later.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because it was a lot of fun.
Still got to do the smile. Thanks, JP, for a reminder, dude.
Oh, yo, smile. Cool. This song is called My Fault by Sewerperson off of Dystopia, and I believe Taylor Morgan produced it. So have a good night, guys. I'm going to jam out for a little and then go roll a joint. Thank you, everybody. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks. Thank you,
This
everybody.
remind me of winter. Growing up was like terror. Heartbroken in this genre. Sorry, I got a temper. Spring my words like pepper. Really, it's not too close. After all this,
Yeah, no guests next week.
Sideways in the bitch. I'm too turned.
No guests next week. Just gonna be me and the camera.
I might turn. I might drain all of my kids. Open her mouth. She like go. I've been waiting on this shit, bitch. Slow it down. Yeah. I'm a fool. I'm a clown. Wonder if God is seeing my progress going from there versus now. Packing this back, she bold. There's a party foul. Get it out. It's not in my bond. Why I get shit is now. Toxic. Bitch, I'm way too toxic. It's obvious I like you, but fuck it. I fucked it. I poured out my heart. And you see and ignored it. Baby, you so gorgeous, but that's make you up was like Tamara. This remind me of winter. Grown up was like Tamara. Heartbroken in December. Sorry I got it tempered. Spring my words like pepper. But really it's not too close. After all this November, yeah. After all this November. After all this November, yeah. After all this November. After all this November.
Thanks again, Heber. It was a lot of fun, bro.
Thank you, dude. It was awesome.
This one's called 220. Sewerperson, produced by Jabari on the beat, and I believe, I want to say Vitals.
It's all good. Let's take it back. Okay.
I was right.
Okay, got a vision in the backseat. 220 on the dash, I can't catch it. She post a picture, don't attach it. She comes right into a taxi. Mr. Drinks her with a cushion out sideways. Poke her on a velvet down in my face. Think I smoked too much, my mother had a dry taste. Candy take a sip of this, taught me how to like it. You feel it when I press a point body. Feel the pressure resurrect me like a zombie. Shop a time for shop at Abercrombie. Flying private ship, I'm flying in a economy. Yeah, I put all the petty shit behind me. If you got a problem, then you know just where to find me. In a bar, in a King Street lobby. I don't got a poker, I got icing like it's hot. One block in a penthouse room. I just look out on a young and see the view. I guess all these wish it coming true. I just hope that life will come with you, girl. Diamonds on my neck look like a pool. Got so many cars in here, this shit look like a duel. Got so many cars in here, this shit look like a dealership. I've been burning rubber, you would think I work at Michelin. See the fireworks like another bag. I'm holler like a pipe burst. Pull back to the line.
Yo, that's actually such a clean screenshot of us, for real.
I hang up the phone and put it, I can't find the right words. I think I'm too faded for the, I don't even like her. Still I think I have enough, she don't like her. I just hear my ex and now she ain't even cry first. How you telling me what to believe? Okay, got a vision in the backseat. 220 on the dash, I can't catch me. She post a picture, don't attach me. This shit comes right into a taxi. Mr. Drinker with a cushion on sideways. Poker on the velvet down on my face. Think I smoked too much, my mother had a dry taste. Candy take a sip of this, taught me how to like it. Okay, got a vision in the backseat. 220 on the dash, I can't catch me. She post a picture, don't attach me. This shit comes right into a taxi. Mr. Drinker with a cushion on sideways. Poker on the velvet down on my face. Think I smoked too much, my mother had a dry taste. Candy take a sip of this, taught me how to like it.
Yeah. Before I switch screens, before I put on this last song, one last time, artist submissions. I'm going to post the link on our YouTube in the description of the video. It's in discord.gg/sewerperson under the Convos in the Sewer podcast category in information already if you don't want to wait for the video to be posted. Yo, Doa's vibing while watching the sunrise at 6 a.m. You are a legend. You are a legend. Seriously. All love to everybody in the chat. All love to you, Heber. We'll talk about getting you back. I think I want to go in a different direction with you next time.
What's up?
I kind of like starting the segments with you. I'm not going to lie. Like starting Underground Loyalty with you and starting From Pain to Poetry. It's a good way to get people hyped for stuff. People like you. People like the segments. So let's keep it rolling, man. I'll brainstorm and come back to you. I got up to episode 11 planned right now. I'm starting to plan for 12. So we'll get you back. But all love everybody. Thanks for coming out. I'm gonna swap screens. Roll me up a fatty. Go show Heber some love on his YouTube because it's gonna be linked below. Join the Discord if you're not already. Send in artist submissions. Make sure you have permission to send the songs in because I'm playing them on my freaking YouTube video, and if I get copyrighted, I'm chopping the song out of it. I'm not sending no claims. No, I'm not disputing no claims. I'm just chopping the song. So make sure you got permission. Other than that, guys, Love you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys. This one's betrayal reserved for a hero.
Trace on my skull in this hospital bed. The key to survival is locked in my head. Like by the virus, they wanted the streets. The antidote spews from my veins to my sheets. I thought I'd save us from speech.
I ain't gonna lie. This bot's been hating tonight, bro.
Heroes are never subject to the lights. I'm sucked to my life and I'm tossed to the night. Baby, don't you worry, I will make it back home safe. Things don't look the best, but you know me, I'll find another way. Scalpels on the table by my bed next to the air tanks. I rip through my cuffs and puncture both and take their life away. I'm struggling out the stretcher, I rip feeders from my airways. You should call your children now since you're all gonna die today. Magma guards my heart, my steps explode, they're blown apart. This is nothing, you could stop my sight, is score, my voice is war. You should learn to step aside, this poison pride just cost your life. I locked you to my bench in crumbling buildings where you hide. Watch, I rip his skin from his face, spare when he's a dead the blue race. The human expiry date, the planet shall finally heal without you in the way, and I shall remain. Trace on my skull in this hospital bed. The key to survival is locked in my head. Like by the virus, they wanted the streets. The antidote spews from my veins to my sheets. I thought I'd save us from speech to the cave. Well, I guess I will at the cost of my grave. Heroes are never subject to the lights. I'm sucked to my life and I'm tossed to the night.
Bye, YouTube.